If you're a pitcher and you want to throw faster, feel healthy, and last all season long, then arm care isn't optional, it's mandatory. But most kids are either not doing it at all or just doing it incorrectly. So with that being said, the truth is the arm can only perform as well as it's maintained. That's why in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys a complete arm care routine that you can utilize for the rest of your baseball career. All right, so the first thing I would do if I'm in a facility, I'm going to get on a bike or a rower or a skier, something that's gonna get my heart rate up and my core temperature. If I'm not in a gym, I'm gonna be on a field. I'll either do a little light jog. It's just something to get my core temperature increased, get a nice little light sweat going, and then I'll get into my foam rolling, my lacrosse ball stuff. I always like to have a hoodie on so I can keep the heat inside my body. I usually take it off once I get a nice little sweat going. And typically I like to use a compression sleeve on my arm just to give a little bit of compression, also to keep that heat inside of it. Okay, so let me take you in my second step. After the bike and I have my core temperature increased, I'm going to do a little bit of lacrosse rolling. I'll use my right arm. Lacrosse ball rolling. What I do is I like to find any sensitive spots in my arm and I like to dig into it and push into it and kind of hold it there for a few breaths. And then I like to kind of go in small circles. Right now I have it in my teres major, so that's usually the most sensitive part for me. So I find it, there it is right there. And once I leave it there for a few seconds, I'm gonna start rolling small little circles in there. After that, I'm going to lock it in on that spot and then move my arm in all different directions. So I kind of loosen that up. After this, I should start feeling nice and free, nice and loose. And if I have any other spots, maybe like my hip, I would do that same thing as well on my hips. I would hold it there first, try to find that spot, and then I would do small little circles, leaning into it. The goal is to kind of put as much pressure as I can into the ball. I want to go into the pain. I don't want to go away from the pain. And then I like to move my leg around, same way I did my arm. After my back, after my hip, I would normally do my shoulder, the front part of my shoulder. Try to touch on all parts of the shoulder, the front, the side, and the back. Work that whole shoulder. Some days I might feel a little more sensitive than others. Just give that area a little extra TLC. Okay, now I have hit my shoulders. I did my fascial release stuff. Any extra trigger points that are a little more sensitive than normal, I hit those. Now I'm gonna target my elbow. If my elbow hurts or if it doesn't hurt, this is an amazing exercise that you can do to strengthen your flexors. So I like to grab a bat or something that's top heavy. This driveline baseball bat is top heavy. Or if you're not, you can put a weight on it or just hold it closer to the end. The closer, the more balance it's gonna be. So grab it as far as you can, up to your strength. Let it take me down as far as I can. And full range of motion, I'm gonna supinate, let my thumb get away from my body, and I'm gonna pronate, let my thumb get as close as I can inside my body. The goal is to do about 10 reps of these in each direction. Play with it. If your arm feels more sensitive in the extension part or flexed, my favorite thing to do is to go to the sensitive spots and I want to work out those little kinks. So typically for me, it feels tighter when I'm flexed, but if everybody's different, there's no one way approach to this stuff. I have to go into the pain. So there it is, feel a stretch, pull, pull, pull. And now as I bring it up, I feel a little tension. This one kind of feels good. After I do that, both left and right, now I'm gonna go up and down. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold the end of the bat. I'm going to start here and I'm going to push my thumb, the top part, down and try to raise the bat as high as I can. And now I'm gonna bring it down and again, push it down, let this bat get up. Good, and now I go forward, put the bat in front of me and raise it as high as I can. That's all I got. That's not good. Get up, 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 and good. So now I have done both right, left, up, and down. From there, I'm gonna drop down to all fours, and I'm gonna go in tabletop position, and I'm going to put my fingers facing my knees with my palms directly on the ground. I don't wanna cheat and keep my palms off the floor, get my palms to the ground, and I'm going to slightly just rock forward and backward while keeping my palms on the floor. I'm gonna get 10 of these. Once I do 10, now I'm gonna bend my elbow, which is gonna give it even more of a stretch, and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Try not to arch your back, keep your hips tucked, nice flat back. Okay, now I'm gonna get off the ground and I'm gonna go over to the barbell. So I'm still focusing on the elbow, so let's go to the barbell. All right, so now I'm at the barbell. What I like to do is I like to get into my split stance position as I throw. And I'm going to put my fingers, my 2 fingers, on the tip of the barbell, keep my glove side tucked, and I'm just gonna flick it down. And as I flick it down, I'm putting that stress and that force on my forearms, because this is the last thing that holds onto the baseball and that throws the ball is your fingers. So I've built energy up my entire body and it is released through my fingers. That doesn't mean I get to neglect my fingers. So I like to put my fingers on the barbell and I like to push down. Boom, boom. Just slide down it, try to keep my wrist and my fingers as straight and as flexed as possible, and down. If I don't have this, I can do it on here, on my fingers, push it down. I can go on the end of a bench. I can go on a fence. I can put my fingers anywhere and just feel flicking down. You'll feel tension in here. You want to train every muscle to prevent yourself from getting hurt, right? Okay, now after the barbell, after my elbow, after my fascia release stuff, I'm gonna grab a band and I'm gonna start hitting my shoulders. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go I's, Y's, T's, and A's. Stand here, I'm gonna go I's. My thumbs are gonna be going up towards the sky, making the letter I. I'm gonna get 10 of these. Once I'm done with I's, I'm gonna go into my Y's, which is a little bit wider. Come back to the center, bring it straight back out. When I'm done with 10 of those, I'm gonna go into a T. Now this doesn't have to be low. This can be at face height, chest height, whichever you prefer. Right now, just for convenience purposes, it's on the ground. Typically, I would do it when it's at my chest height. Now I'm gonna go T's, pull, squeeze, squeeze, retract those scaps. After that, I'm gonna go A's. What I like to do is I like to push my fingernails behind me and getting at that proud chest. So I'm doing 10 in all different directions. 10 I's, 10 Y's, 10 T's, and 10 A's. After I've done those, I'm gonna grab it and I'm going to face away from the fence or from the bar. Thumb is gonna be up. I'm gonna put my hand on my chest or my stomach. I'm gonna resist rotation and I'm gonna lift my thumb and thinking about reaching out and then up, not just up. So out, 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 up, slow down. Inhale, exhale. Everything you wanna sync your breath with your rep. And down. Okay, after this stuff I have done inside with my forearms and my shoulder, I'm going to do a little bit more of stability work now. I like to get on the ground and I like to start in the hand plank position and I like to rotate into my scap while stabilizing on my one arm. I want to let my hips allow me to open up so I can put my shoulder inside that scaption position. Rotate around, do both sides. I'm alternating between sides. I would get 20 total, 10 each side, slow and controlled. Try to get that reach. The goal is to do the work, not to finish the work. So prioritize the movement. Don't rush through it just because you want to finish. Now what I like to do is one of my favorites. I call hand to toe plank. Get in a plank position. Now I have done it from this angle. Now I'm going to do it from top down angle. So I'm going to exhale and reach, try to reach my toe, back down to a flat plank, opposite, alternating. Exhale as I reach, inhale as I refresh. Good. The goal is to get as far overhead as possible because we're overhead athletes, so we need to be stable in those positions. Okay, the next one, I know you guys are probably like, there's so much stuff here. Well, if your goal is to pitch, you gotta prioritize it just as much, if not more. The next one I like to do is called my screwdrivers. I like to stay over, I'm a lefty. I do both sides of this, always do both sides of everything. I'm going to lift it up, rotate my left leg over my right, get into that shoulder hip separation area, and I'm going to turn like a screwdriver, tightening and opening, as far as I possibly can. Now, there's so many different ways you can do this. The most important part is stabilizing, making sure it's not falling. What I like to do is I like to hold the kettlebell upside down. Let me get it from all different angles so you can see. Kettlebell upside down gives you a little bit more of an instability. I like to get on a side plank so I'm stabilizing both of my arms at the same exact time. And now I'm going to keep my eyes on the kettlebell and turn both directions. Keeping my core tight and my glutes tight. I feel my obliques firing, my right shoulder stabilizing on the ground, and I'm turning the screwdriver. And make sure you do both sides of your body. The next one I like to do is a strengthening with stability, is I like to go on one knee, and I like to hold it in front of my body, and I like to press it up, and as I press it up, it's upside down, so it gives more of that instability. And I'm going to reach from my toe and get underneath it with my eyes, back down, starting position. That's one. Reach under it, reach to the floor. Two. I'm gonna get 10 each side with that as well. Remember, as we're doing all this stuff, you guys may think that this is a lot of stuff. This is just normal preparation, especially if you wanna make it somewhere in baseball. You need to prioritize your arm health. Before a game, you can do less reps, less sets. Days that you're practicing or off days, you can be doing more, maybe 2 or 3 rounds of each. Let me go inside real quick and grab my plyo balls and show you what's next. Okay, now that I have my plyo balls, I'm gonna get into my next exercise. If you're a pitcher and you don't have plyo balls, what are you doing? Make sure you get your plyo balls. You can get your throwing in no matter where you are, and there's plenty of exercise that you can do to strengthen them. So, the first one to do is we're gonna go out to the side in a straight line. I'm not gonna cheat and get a little bit in front of my body. So straight behind me or to the side. I'd rather be a little more behind than in front. So I have to stay mostly linear, but a little bit behind and drop it. And as I drop it, I'm gonna catch it and bring it right back to that starting position. I don't wanna drop it, let my arm drop. That shows weakness. If I can't hold it up, go lighter. So I usually get 30 of these, and then I would go in front of my body, 30 reps as well, and then across. So I have straight out to the side, a little bit behind, straight out in front of me, always maintain that same level, not letting it fall. And then shoulders straight. This is the one a lot of people get wrong. We're turning our body, which technically I'm still in front of my body, right? The goal is to keep my hips facing forward, my shoulders facing forward, and let my hand get across my body and drop. Okay? After those, get right into the 90-90. I'm going to drop it, throw my arm back, and try to catch it and stick in that position. This is more of a quicker exercise. So throw it up and stick it. This is a tough one, especially with a heavy ball. Yeah, these are tough. So after all these exercises we have done today, your shoulder should be fatigued. And after time, the longer you do it, your arm will no longer be tired. It's gonna be strong enough to withhold all these exercises, and it's just gonna be like your warm-up. So I recommend starting with this on days that you're not throwing, just so you don't fatigue yourself too much, especially if you're in season. So if you're seeing this and you're in season, do this on an off day. If you're in off season, you can do it whenever you want. Remember, if you're doing this stuff before a game, I would limit it to 1 round of everything. You don't wanna go 2 or 3 rounds. You don't wanna fatigue your arm before you even throw. The goal is to prepare yourself to throw. So we're gonna get ready to throw. We're not gonna throw to get ready. All right guys, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys have learned some things. Don't forget to like it, to share with your friends or another pitcher or teammate to help strengthen their arm and also decrease risk of injury. Let's get out of here.